Hey, what is up, Trivial Nation? Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. I'm Juan. This over here is Jordan. And
What's going on?
I dare say you're looking very Wolf of Wall Street today.
Thank you from the
Yeah.
waist up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You
Whereas-
are, I don't even know what to say. American Psycho, but not,
But
like
all of
going
the
on a
good
murder.
parts.
Yeah, all the good parts.
All the good
The
parts.
successful
Yeah,
parts. Yeah.
yeah.
Looking good, though.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. I got a band I want you to try out later, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Thank you. I appreciate
I
it.
don't know whether
No.
I've actually never seen the movie. I've only seen clips, and that was like the one clip I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't for me.
yeah.
But some people are like, I love that movie. And I'm like, it's kind of crazy. I wouldn't be able to sleep, I don't think, after watching that.
I think I just kind of like want to get into it anyways.
Yeah.
And just give it the old Christian. I mean, Christian Bale got a lot of.
You're right.
He got a lot of accolades for it. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyways, we're going down a path we don't need to go. We are
No.
looking dapper because today we are talking about corporate propaganda that worked. Corporate propaganda that worked.
Steve.
So we're talking about things that are like in our everyday lives around the world,
You're right.
in which it's kind of that way because corporate America had something to say about it.
Right.
And they got their hands all up in their business kind of thing.
Mm.
So
Let's get it.
this is like no particular order that I'm reading off anywhere. These are just my top 10 favorite corporate propaganda success stories.
So excited
Yeah.
to find out how deceived I am by
Yeah.
the corporations.
Yeah, let's go.
All right,
Let's dig
let's
in.
get it.
So, number one, I would say, is people eating KFC during Christmas time in Japan because of KFC's marketing campaign that promoted their products as a traditional Western Christmas treat.
I don't even know what to say about that.
So, my first question to
awesome.
you is, have you ever had KFC for Christmas?
No, I try not to have that on a Tuesday. I mean, I don't think KFC is that great, but some people like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, not me though.
not you?
No.
I think that ever since I got into Golden Chick a little bit more, that overtook KFC for me. Now, I will say, I would love to say it was Chicken Express, but Chicken Express, I think, is worse than KFC in my book.
Here's the thing about Chicken Express. Everything is like it. Every place does like battered fried chicken, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But there's this like twice as thick,
hmm
and it's super greasy, and the tea, the sweet tea,
Yeah,
is basically a syrup.
it's just sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which we're going to be getting into a little bit later, too.
Oh,
It's
okay.
funny
Let's get it. Okay.
that you bring that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so never had KFC for Christmas.
No. Like I said, yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, okay,
Then at I don't think Christmas when I think KFC.
cool.
Yeah, I think heart attack.
Yeah,
Mhm.
gotcha. Okay, well, speaking of heart attacks, number
Exciting.
2, dude, you were on point.
Yeah.
So number 2 for me is the sugar industry blaming fatty foods for obesity.
Heard of this one, man.
Yeah.
I watched a whole documentary on this one.
Yeah, I saw one
Yeah.
on Netflix as well, and it was all about how basically the sugar industry got super involved, even down to like the scheduling of what our kids should eat with like the food pyramid and
Uh-huh.
everything. They said like grain should be like the number one thing that kids eat and all that jazz.
Yeah.
There's so much sugar in grains and everything.
Well,
So-
and the grain's covered in sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
For
exactly.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we're also going to get to.
Okay,
another
okay,
part,
okay,
'cause
okay.
You were on
I'm
point.
getting
Yeah.
excited and
So,
angry.
yeah. Yeah. So that right there is the thing. So it turns out they got their hands into the USDA and they started basically lobbying politicians to be able to say it was the fat that was hurting people. So
Yeah.
America turned from like fat-free foods. Everything had to be fat-free. Watching
Oh,
your
yeah.
cholesterol and all that jazz.
Margarine, which turns out is radioactive.
Yeah, it's like one
think-
molecule away from being plastic.
I,
like
like
we
you're
don't
not
use
joking.
margarine. It's
No,
like
no.
butter's more expensive. Don't care. We're like we just we don't use it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. If here's the
Butter's
deal,
delicious.
if bugs won't even eat it, then by me, maybe you shouldn't eat it.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is saying something because there's bugs that eat plastic.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
but they
make
won't eat
silk.
margarine.
Yeah, but they won't
That's
eat margarine. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So basically, fat-free being the cause, but it turns out it's the sugar in the foods that's hurting you.
Mm-hmm.
But even to this day, you'll see a lot of foods that still advertise hardcore. Hey, we're fat-free,
Oh yeah.
and it's like, no, you want the fat.
Yeah, that's good for you.
Yeah, the fat is good for you.
You know, if you're not eating globs of it.
Oh yeah, of course,
Still good.
of course, it's still good. It's still good.
Not healthy.
So the next one I actually want to go ahead and say is actually number 3. We are going to talk about breakfast.
Yeah.
It is the slogan, breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Wow, dude, you are in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not true, right?
It's not true. It was actually coined by Kellogg's when they were
Smart.
pushing their full grain cereals.
Is this like Mad Men era too, like
Yeah.
50s?
Yeah,
Oh man, those guys were
yeah,
good.
they were good.
Good
Cigarettes in every
liars.
room.
Yeah,
It was just like the cool thing to do to flick a lighter.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Get
like
your smoke, get
yeah.
your Marlboro while
Yeah.
you're waiting on your doctor, and your doctor's having one
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
It's good to relieve stress.
Actually, if you go back to one of our episodes, Marlboro helped promote a fad diet. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
Yeah, where it
That's
was like the weight
right.
loss. So if you wanted to curb your appetite, lose weight,
Just smoke a
Marlboro.
cigarette.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Which I might try. I'm getting a little heavy in the waistband there.
yeah. Or just go for the menthol flavor one.
Oh, I will.
Supposedly, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. I will. Thanks
Yeah.
for the advice.
Yeah, so Kellogg's was pushing their new brand cereals, and they decided to coin the term "breakfast is the most important meal of the day," and
Wow.
they coined the phrase because supposedly these brand cereals, Raisin Bran and Corn Flakes and all that jazz, they supposedly had 60% more vitamins and minerals
Okay.
than the standard of what was already being eaten around that time, which was
Right.
actually nothing because breakfast wasn't even like an official meal of the day until the industrialization of America.
Wow. So you just didn't eat in the morning. You went to work and then you got hungry because you were working. You didn't just eat bacon, eggs.
Right, yeah. A lot
And
of
then go to
times
work.
your breakfast,
Yeah.
quote unquote, would usually just be your leftovers from dinner. And that's what you would have in the morning.
Yeah.
But corporate America came in, hey, we can make this first meal of the day its own
Yeah.
thing. That's
Man.
where we got our popularization of cereals
Wow.
and bacon and toast and eggs being
It's all
like
so good.
breakfast
Yeah.
staples.
That's so good.
Yeah.
But if you look at like a glass of orange juice, 8 ounces is like, I don't know, 40 grams of sugar.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
It's so
It's
good.
crazy.
But yeah, like as you're talking about them, I'm like, I want to defend breakfast. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it is the most important. You start your day off right
Yeah.
with breakfast.
You're breaking a fast. That's literally what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
good.
But no, so that's kind of the thing. It
Mm.
wasn't until the industrialization of America that we were getting breakfast
Mm.
anyways. But that's just because people were waking up earlier. We had lights now and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah. Changed a lot of things.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so number 3.
Yes.
We ready? Number 3.
Get it?
Engagement screens having to be 9 months worth of salary.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Why?
Yeah. That's another one that K's and corporate America was able to go ahead and push through, was that this is a investment that you're making into your wedding,
Yeah.
and that you're making, sorry, not into your wedding, but into the love of your life.
Yeah. To your marriage.
So you need to be able to spend this certain monetary amount on it.
Wow.
And it would kind of create it as a guilt product and everything like that.
Gee.
Yeah.
That passed through my mind as I bought the engagement ring.
I was worried that my ring wasn't expensive enough.
Yeah.
But it was literally exactly what my wife wanted. Like, she wanted that specific kind of ring. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, this is not as much as I
Mhm.
thought I was going to have to pay. I feel guilty about this.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But studies were actually done, and it was actually found that 40% of couples that spend less than, I think it's like $6,000 to $7,000 on a wedding,
Uh-huh.
their relationships on average last longer than those who spend $10,000 plus, everything like that, on their weddings.
So if you blow out the wedding budget,
Mhm.
you are more likely to divorce, essentially.
Yeah, according to their standards that
I
they've
gotcha.
set, yes. But it was a
Wow.
little study that was kind of done along the lines of this.
Well, if you look at Hollywood, I mean, I don't know. I was per per wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know if that could be true. Now, that's a
Honestly,
whole different class of people, but
Yeah, if they only like interviewed people that were like in the Beverly Hills area,
Uh-huh.
yeah, those numbers might be a little skewed.
they might be. That's so interesting, man.
Yeah, yeah. So thoughts on that?
I think it's definitely embedded into our culture. That's where I went to. I was like, okay, I've got to spend at least this much.
Uh-huh.
And I think I remember doing calculations
Yeah.
and like, okay, this is a little bit more or something. I don't remember if it was more or less, but I was like, is this okay?
Hmm.
Of course it's okay. It's the ring she wants.
Yeah.
It symbolizes our marriage and our love and all that stuff. It doesn't have to be a certain amount.
Right.
It's crazy that controlled my process.
Right.
Because it did.
Yeah.
I hate to admit that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's just crazy that really just, and I'm not complaining. I love capitalism. I think America's great. All
Oh,
that
yeah.
jazz. But-
Obviously.
well, I
Dress for
mean, yeah. Look at
success.
this. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
this-
we're not communist here.
We woke up in this.
Yeah.
But it's like, because of that nature, that specific, I guess, nature of America,
Hmm.
it does allow corporations to, I guess, get more intertwined because of,
Wow.
I would guess, say, our platform as a country
Yeah.
of that. Um, it allows corporations to be able to get more entwined. So it falls on the citizen, I think, to be able to make sure we're kind of resisting ourselves against some of these propaganda techniques because
Yeah.
they're advertising, they're trying to make their dime. Got it.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
Well,
not
they
being
create
dumb stuff.
jobs.
Yeah, they
There
do.
you go.
They do.
So,
They do create jobs. They do create
Oof.
jobs. Well, speaking of jobs, let's go ahead and go to point number 5.
okay.
Yeah, are we ready?
Steve Jobs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve Jobs.
No.
Not really though,
Oh.
but there are lots of jobs in this.
Yes.
So my point number 5 is that clovers
Hmm.
and dandelions
Hmm.
have been deemed as weeds.
They have.
When, in fact, most weed killers can't differentiate between clovers and other weeds, so they just decided that we're just going to throw clovers into this. So basically, instead of trying to develop something that would kind of exclude clovers
Yeah.
from being able to be killed with other unwanted weeds,
Yeah.
they just said, we'll just let it call the clovers what is called clovers weeds.
Wow. They changed the identity
Hmm.
to fit their purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's genius.
yeah. Which is a great marketing tactic if you think about it. And it's
Absolutely.
lazy, and usually the laziest tactics will save you the most money. If
It's
car
true.
sales taught me anything.
For sure.
Yeah. So companies began emphasizing clovers as weeds so they could still sell the chemicals. So yeah, that's just, and there's a
Wow.
whole conspiracy theory that I want to go down the route with dandelions, but I'm gonna probably just say it right now. We probably need to save an entire episode
That's
for
another
dandelions.
episode. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be a
because
good one.
it goes
From what you told me,
it goes deep.
yeah,
It goes deep.
like deep state,
Yeah.
like Peter Strzok and that other lady in the FBI,
Yeah.
deep, like making decisions
Yeah.
for us, people. Yes.
Yeah. So
That was a tangent.
I won't go down to that, but
Yeah.
a lot of people normally prefer the feel of clover on their bare feet to grass, anyways.
Love clover.
Yeah.
It is soft. The leaves are soft.
Hmm. And the reason why clover kind of sucks a little bit, or not clover, getting rid of clover sucks, is that clover provides nitrogen to the soil around the grass.
Mm.
Grass is a predatory plant. It's not naturally here.
Yeah.
So it just sucks up nitrogen. It doesn't contribute anything at all. It's just a look. And that's all it
Wow.
is. So the clover provides the nitrogen. But since you got rid of your clover,
Mhm.
now you have to buy your fertilizer from the same place that sold you the place that kills your clover
Hey, what a
to
racket.
be able to put the nitrogen back in that the clover would have taken care of for you in the first place.
What a racket.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there, and that was just my number 5.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's there are some anyways. Whew, I got heated on that
Wow,
one.
you
I
did. You're
man.
passionate.
And I'm so excited to start a garden when I get a home,
Yeah.
and I'm like, don't mess with my clovers now.
Right?
Yeah.
That makes me. Like, I want to find some clover and just let it grow.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So ready for number 6?
I didn't know I was a tree hugger, but until right now.
A clover hugger.
A clover hugger.
Clover hugger.
Yes.
It tastes good too. Have you ever eaten clover before?
No.
Clover.
Well, maybe in my Lucky Charms, but that was a different.
Ayo.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was
No, it's all good.
terrible.
No, it
we
was
were
great.
talking about breakfast.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's a marshmallow in breakfast,
Yeah.
by the way.
Which goes back to, anyways, yeah. Yeah, I had clover. Like as a kid, I would eat clover all the time. Tasted
really?
Great. Tasted great.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get stuck on clover. We'll save that for the other episode. Here is number 6. Number 6 is the idea that it is impolite for workers to discuss their salary with other workers.
Oh, geez, I can see just right away how smart that is.
Hmm.
Yeah, you don't want the help
Yeah.
talking about how much they're getting paid.
Right. Right.
Wow, it almost you feel like a second-class citizen if you are talking about it.
Yeah.
Like that's backroom
It is like
off
taboo.
property. Yeah, it is.
like taboo, where it's like, no, but what if I'm not making as much?
Yeah.
Or what if I'm making more and then I could get in trouble? So it actually turns out that it's actually federally illegal to tell your employees that you can't discuss your wages with other employees.
Wow, they
it's
had to
fed-
make a law.
Yeah, so it's federally illegal to do so, but most companies to this day will even put inside their handbooks, we prefer you not to discuss your wages with other employees. And what this does is that it allows for bigger pay wage gaps for people of similar industries. A lot of times new hires, they can actually be getting paid more than people with seniority because they're trying to appeal to more people.
Yeah.
Or the company's just in a different place when that person with seniority first
Right.
started.
Right.
But at the end of the day, is the company going to want to pay that person more?
Right.
No. So they
No.
put these
Yeah.
rules,
Yeah.
propaganda laws into place, but they're actually completely false. It's federally illegal to tell somebody you can't tell someone how much you get paid.
That is crazy.
It is
dude.
strictly.
But yeah, when I think about it, I don't know if I've ever, outside of like when I was 20 working as a valet,
Yeah.
like gone like, hey, are you making, showing them, and even
Yeah.
then I think I like slid it across
Mm-hmm.
a
Yeah.
counter and was like, does this look right?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, this seems about right.
Yeah.
Do I add a zero? Do I take away a zero?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Wow. It's like a shame thing too. Like, yeah, because you're right. Like, what if they're making more than me?
Yeah.
They're probably gonna go tell other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
By the way, if any of y'all watching this are like, hey, that's not corporate propaganda, or hey, I've seen better corporate propaganda this, let us know in the comments section down below. We'll be more than happy to hear what do you have to be able to offer as well too. We may be able to hit on it in future episodes.
Absolutely.
So point number 6.
Yes.
Did I just do point number 6?
I think that
just
might
did.
have been 6.
Let's go ahead and do point number 7
We wanted to do it
now.
again.
I wanted to do it again. Yeah, sorry about that.
Double down.
So point number 7.
Yes.
And this is going to go, this actually ties in with me today. I did, my wife took Ezra to the dentist.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
To the dentist. Is using enough toothpaste, or using the appropriate amount of toothpaste on your toothbrush.
Yeah.
So you watch those commercials and you see them put the big head of toothpaste from the front of the toothbrush. I mean, from the front of the bristles to the back of the bristles.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Really, all you need is just like less than a pea-size amount. Just a little dab in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely buy that. I started doing this a couple years ago just to make it last longer, make the tube last longer.
Yeah.
And I realized, that pea size, that's plenty.
Yeah.
And when I actually did, I think it was in my head, maybe I saw a Colgate commercial before I went to bed. I don't know how old I was, but put the whole strip on, and my mouth was just like, this is too much. First of all, half of it came out, didn't even process.
This is dribbling.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're like, wait a minute, why are they having us put the whole thing on? And then last night, I read the back of my tube, and it says clear as day on the back, make sure to put a 1-inch strip of toothpaste on your tube. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
That is too much.
Yes.
Yeah. It's too much. And dare I say, I am appalled at 9 of the 10 dentists
use that word
that allowed that to be able to be put on the
he doesn't use appalled often. Like once a day.
Yeah,
But
if that.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
You do use it sparingly, like you should use toothpaste.
Exactly. See, there you go.
Full circle.
Speaking of sparingly,
Ah,
number 8. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Number 8 is actually going back to the wedding ring
Okay.
that we talked about with
Okay.
point number 4.
Excellent.
However, is that diamonds themselves are rare objects.
Okay. They're
Diamonds are not rare.
right, because there's all sorts of mines all over the place.
All
digging
sorts
them
of
out,
mines
right?
all over the world. In fact, diamonds are the most common gemstone around.
I thought they were forever. Diamonds
So-
were forever.
That's also as far as I was going to include that in there, but no, diamonds are definitely destructible. Like they said,
Okay.
the diamond is indestructible, and diamonds are
true.
no, you can break a diamond.
Oh, okay. Wow.
yeah.
Wow, that's another lie I bought.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's the case, we would never have to replace diamond-studded saw blades or anything like that at all.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. They do grind down.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting back to your point though,
Mhm.
yeah, you're right. Everybody buys diamond rings for their wife for the wedding.
The thing is, like, they're not even rare. So things like emeralds and sapphires are significantly more rare, and
Wow.
tanzanite is about the rarest of the rare. So actually, quite just a little breakdown with tanzanite, it's literally only found in one spot at the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro.
Wow.
So I've never
In
even heard of
Tanzania.
tanzanite. In Tanzania.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah,
Wow.
that's why it's called tanzanite.
Okay.
They literally got their own what is it? From Black Panther, Wakanda.
Yes.
Wakanda has their own element. That's just for them.
That's
They,
awesome.
they just have vibranium. Tanzania just has tanzanite. That
That's
makes more
awesome.
sense. We should call it Wakandanite, but
Absolutely.
that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of times though, the diamonds are actually stored
Yeah.
warehouses and not released out into the public market until the supply gets low. That way they can control
Wow.
the supply and demand. So diamonds aren't
Golly.
rare, not forever, all that jazz.
But every kiss does begin with K, right?
I mean, alphabetically, literally, yes. Every kiss does begin with K.
Okay.
So I guess that you're right when it comes to that.
Half right? Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it. Wow, that is God, that makes so much sense though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm having to wrap my head around that one.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Well, speaking of wrapping heads
Oh.
and wrappings,
Okay.
let's talk about littering for a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about
Let's,
this.
let's talk about littering. So, point number 9 for me
Mm-hmm.
is the concept of individual litter bugs.
Okay.
So I'm thinking corporately. So, fun fact: corporations, actually, the top 100 corporations, they provide for 70% of the pollution on the planet.
70%
70% of the
70.
70% of the pollution on the planet.
But they blame it on the little guy.
So starting back with the tobacco industry, because they were seen as their issue back in the 60s and 70s was littering, not the fact that smoking causes cancer.
Littering in your lungs.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
littering your lungs
Yeah.
and the bird nests.
Yep.
And the birds pick up the. Actually, birds do use cigarettes
Yeah.
in their nest, but that's just because the smell of the nicotine keeps insects away.
I-
So it actually is helping out birds.
Smart.
Yeah, sorry, that was another random tidbit.
That's awesome.
But
I love
yeah,
your tidbit.
thank you. I like my tidbits too. I'm a fan of my tidbits.
Your wife like your tidbits?
My wife is a fan of my tidbits.
Excellent.
At least twice.
Oh. 2 boys?
Yeah, 2 boys.
Twice. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
there you
Makes
go.
sense.
Take it. Yeah.
Adds up.
But anyways, so the tobacco industry helped fund the nonprofit front Keep America Beautiful
Yes.
to shift responsibility of cheap, environmentally damaging packaging from the producers to the consumers. And it totally worked.
That one was hatched in hell.
Yeah, they
Wow.
literally shifted the blame from themselves as the creators of the non-recyclable packaging to the consumer because it was the consumer's fault on how much it was spread out, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and also fun fact, Captain Planet,
Yeah.
he was
Wasn't allowed to watch it.
well, no,
Yeah.
Captain Planet was formed from the Keep America Beautiful movement shift.
Wow. So he
From the
was
original
evil. My
tobacco
parents
company.
were right.
Yeah.
Way to
I
go,
will
Mom
say
and
though,
Dad.
in the Captain America show, the parents were right.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch Pokemon. I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers.
Smurfs either.
Yeah, Smurfs. Yeah, Smurfs were something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember Power Rangers, but I did watch Power Rangers.
Snuck it in.
Whenever I
Mom
went over
and
to
Dad.
my grandparents' house, they couldn't speak English,
Yeah.
so I told them it was Bible Man.
Oh, that is- ah! That is genius. Speaking of genius.
I told him every time like what it was named Megatron or Zod,
Yeah.
whenever he was really big, I
Yeah.
was like, no, that's Gabriel. That's Gabriel, the Archangel Abuelita.
Jeez.
So yeah,
That's
so Power Rangers
awesome.
were not Power Rangers at my grandparents' house. They were Bible Man. He was
Sorry, Abuelita.
sorry, Abuelita.
Sorry he treated you like
yeah,
that.
it's all right. My grandpa liked it, so it worked out pretty well.
Oh, okay. Worked for everybody.
Yeah,
Good.
but I will say in Captain Planet, the corporations were usually the bad guys.
Oh, of course.
I will say so. There was still some innocence.
Okay. Okay.
there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, what's your thought? What your thoughts on that? Are there any other companies you could see doing the same tactic as the tobacco company back then?
Golly. I might have to think about it. But what comes to mind is like you find out that your boss is stealing and you're like, hey, you need to stop stealing from the company.
Yeah.
And he's like, you didn't turn your report in on time.
Yeah.
And then all the attention is on you
Yeah.
and you get fired.
It's like some weird like gaslighting type thing.
It is. And virtue signaling. I mean,
Oh,
if that
yeah.
like
Yes, that's not a thing.
huge right now.
Yeah.
People are, I mean, and corporations are, so if we're talking about our time right now,
Uh-huh.
because I mean, we're going back 30 years talking about Make America Beautiful, Captain Planet, but it's even worse today
Yeah.
because now they hop on every single moral issue that they can.
Oh, of course.
And it's so annoying.
I know.
Just sell me a movie, sell me a vacuum,
Mhm.
sell me a car,
Mhm.
but don't tell me how I need to believe.
Yeah.
It really gets under my skin.
Or how I need to feel when I'm buying this. I'm buying this for my own reasons. I want this
Right.
truck so I can, do donuts in the Walmart. I'm
Yes.
not buying this truck because I want to power my house.
Right.
I'm sorry, I went really shallow on what you're talking, but you are right.
No,
I'm
say
on-
point.
I'm on board with you with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the audacity for people to think that they can tell you how you're supposed to think. That is some like brainwaves, brainwashing type stuff. Hey, watch our brains bracket episode. It's from a couple weeks back.
So good. It'll melt your brain
Yeah, it will.
and your face.
Ooh, are you ready for number 10?
I am. Let's finish strong.
Let's do this. Okay. My number 10
Okay.
is this.
Okay.
Service charges and ATM fees at banks.
I hate them so much. Go on.
So, America's 3 largest banks. Do you have any guess on?
I'm gonna say Chase,
Yep.
Bank of America, and Capital One. I don't know.
Close.
Okay.
So, JP Morgan Chase, which counts as Chase.
Yeah.
Bank of America.
Yeah.
And the other one,
Wells Fargo?
Wells Fargo.
Ah.
Because I go up north, I never see a Wells Fargo up north. In Michigan,
Really?
never see a
What's
Wells
big
Fargo.
up there?
Comerica.
Ah.
Yeah.
Co-America. That's where the Tigers play.
Yeah.
Right.
At Comerica Park.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 3 largest, JP Morgan, Bank of America, and
Mhm.
Wells Fargo, all earned more than $6 billion just from ATM and overdraft fees alone in 2015.
$6 billion in fees. ATM fees. And some of them, I think they're like average is like $3 now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like a lot, but they make a fortune off of these fees that are coming
Yeah.
off. And so there's been reports. So for people that work at banks,
Mhm.
they say, I can tell you for a fact, the bank does not get charged from the other bank when one of their customers uses another machine. It's literally 100% profit.
Absolutely. That's genius, man.
And it's just a thing like, hey, our ATM isn't in
Yeah.
a convenient spot for you, so now you have to pay the price, that $350, that
so
$250.
backwards.
Yeah.
So backwards. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I probably use an ATM once every 5 years
hmm
because I'm just a planner.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're in a pinch and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
crap, I got to go do it. But it seems to me worth that convenience fee because it's once
Yeah.
every 5 years. But I see I think it's every Friday at the
Mhm.
Wells Fargo down like a block from my house here or a mile from my house.
Yeah.
And the line is out the parking lot.
Yeah.
Every Friday for people just hitting that thing up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, now I realize you can now make deposits there at the ATM.
Right. But you could do that on your phone as well, too.
You could.
But then again, there's people that probably don't trust that. I do. I do all my banking on my phone now.
Yeah. Why would you leave the?
I'm just saying, we
comfort
moved
of
to a
home?
one world currency, and
Yeah.
Left Behind turns out to be 100% factual. I
Look
am,
up Left Behind.
I
if
am
you don't
not
know
going
what
to
he's
be able to
talking
buy
about.
stuff. I'm going to be one of the first people cut off. You're like, oh, I should have put cash.
We'll come out here. We'll be trading chickens and goats. I think.
Yeah.
Bartering. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh man. So that's what I got. Those are my 10.
That was so good, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was so interesting, but it was so enlightening at the same time.
Right.
I guess those are the same. So I'm just talking babble now. But thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
From the bottom of my empty pockets, thanks to corporate America. Thank you.
Well, let's empty your pockets and shake you upside down for a little bit extra lunch money, because I got a Quizzle Dizzle for
Oh,
you.
snap.
Quizzle. All right. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Okay.
If
So
I'm honest.
I'm going to talk about iPhone. I'm going to talk about Apple a little bit,
Okay.
because that's my one hint I'm going to give you
Okay.
to the common complaint that has been formed all the way up into the Supreme Court for technology companies. Tech companies take advantage of this tactic to ensure that you have to upgrade within a certain period of time.
So they take advantage of this tactic. Is it the failing battery?
You are on track. There is a certain verbiage that I'm looking for. It's a broad
right.
spectrum covering.
Okay. I would just say that I believe there's an algorithm
Uh-huh.
based on time as to where the device begins to slow down
You're correct.
at like a 2-year mark or something like that.
Planned obsolescence. We're going to go to give it to ladies and
Ooh,
gentlemen.
that's
That is
good.
that is what
Man,
it's, you were.
Obstinance. Hey.
Obsolence.
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 Okay.
OBSOLESCENCE.
Like obsolete.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
And I was going to give you multiple choice, but I was like, I can't give you a multiple choice because then it would be too easy.
Right.
Because if you guys don't know, Jordan's very smart. He's very
Oh,
he's
I'm
a
paying
very
him
smart
to say
man.
this. Yes. That's
So, yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, so planned obsolescence. It's why your fridges break down over time. It's why your iPhone's not good anymore after probably about 6 or 7 years sometimes.
That's crazy. And here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you used to you could buy a GE washing machine in 1967.
Yeah.
and it would still run. I would say that went into the 80s. We had
yeah.
a washer and dryer from 1987 that we got when we were married in 2011.
Yeah.
And it was still running when we bought the Samsung one that has crapped out since.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to get fancy at Nebraska Furniture Mart. Thanks a lot, Warren Buffett, for selling Samsung. American appliances, I think, are still better than any other product that are made out there.
Snap-on.
Yeah.
Snap-on is a great example. Red Wing boots. Oh, sorry, you said appliances.
Appliances.
Well, they apply to your work life.
They do. Yes. Yes.
They do.
We'll say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For argument's sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And convenience sake.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, that is so like I've had that theory I think since I've had an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I love my iPhone,
Yeah.
but at a certain point it starts to just crap out, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not just iPhone that's doing it. It's all tech companies that take advantage. Apple was the one that's $1 trillion company and can get called to the Supreme Court for it, kind of.
Absolutely. Now tell me more about do you have any more information on the court case, or did
Oh,
it go
they're
anywhere?
not allowed to do it anymore. So basically it was with their batteries, which we were talking about. Their batteries started to, they had it set in place where the batteries would start crapping out over time. So now legally they're not allowed to have that be an obvious thing anymore.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So they came up with something else.
Oh, of course they came up with something else. Other companies were already probably coming up with it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, that makes me feel like just kind of sick to my stomach.
Yeah, but how could we get out of it?
We
How
can't.
could we ever escape the corporate wagon?
Lee.
Yeah.
I don't know. They make you shape your life to it,
Mhm.
and now you're on the outside if you don't have a smartphone.
Yeah, exactly. Form
Golly.
fillers.
Form
Form fillers. Filling out a form. You want to fill out, you don't want to fill out that form, you got to fill out 2 other forms and not fill out that form.
Oh, dude.
You want to stop filling out forms completely? There's a form to fill for that.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and leave it
guy.
at that right there. Don't fall into the corporate propaganda, or do, if that makes you feel better about the decisions that you've made up to this point in your life. I've been Juan, and as always, stay weird. Have a good day.
Do not comply.